as you go over the years. Once it's totally transferred, you have lowered the structural rate so low, it actually does bring in big developers who will do a better job because there's no advantage to doing it less. Because if I have the square footage rate low enough, I have what you would normally get in an abatement built into the land value tax system.
Yeah.
I have a condominium or a commercial space that my taxes are roughly 1/3 of what they'd be today, except the city gets 5 times as much. So you have these vacant parking lots around New London that will be built up, say they go up 4 or 5 stories, and they'll have parking in the same space. And there's actually one going in down right now. There's one that's 8 stories, I believe. But it allows for you to have the parking so that you aren't having a vacant parking lot sitting out there. You're making very good use of the land. It also allows for geothermal, solar, wind generators. All that stuff is allowed because you can't be taxed on the improvement. So in the end result, I don't think that your tax, you can bring in, but I don't think it has to be sweat equity. In my case, it was sweat equity because I was paying the burden of the real tax, the tax when it went up. But if today I look at it, if we had land value tax in Rochester, it'd be $100 million a year without any question invested in our city. There are people that are ready to do it, but they won't. They look at the numbers. When I was refinancing, I went all over the country to get refinance that building. And then we had a deal going in Texas, and the guy said, "These taxes can't be right." He called back. I said, "Yeah, they are."
Sad to say.
That killed the whole deal. He said, and I said, "Well, they are." And he said, "Well, that doesn't work too well." Anyway, I just think everything I've seen about land value, there's no scenario you can, and I don't care what it is, I'll sit with anyone, whatever you own and whatever you're going to develop, that land value tax in the long run isn't better for you. I have yet to see a scenario where it's not. And I mean considerably better. The homeowner's tax is usually reduced by 30%. The person who owns a piece of property and has 4 or 5 acres attached to it, first of all, it's revenue neutral, so you just shift it from the structure to the land. You're still paying the same tax. Over time, maybe that tax goes up. But that land that you own now is worth at least 3 times as much money. So maybe you would think of selling it. Today you wouldn't sell it because you're only going to get X. But if that is worth 3 times as much money, you might consider it. So I don't think anyone loses. I have yet to see a scenario where, again, that's why I'm here. Because you at least have it approved in the city. In Rochester, we don't have it approved yet. So I'm, trying to see how we can do it there. Because there are people in the city of Rochester that say, if you get this approved, we're there. There's investors in Chicago say, you get it approved, we're there. It's that significant.
So developers and investors are looking for this kind of thing
because it's a real tax. It's an equitable tax. You do the job right, the property's worth more money, the city gets more money because it's better development, it's more development, and you can make a better profit margin, or you can rent it for a better rate because you have a better product.